You know, a recent article in The Cut featured this woman. She was looking for advice. She's about to move into a house with her boyfriend. His mama
You danced so hard out here that you were out of breath.
Sweater dress,
You were
girl.
giving it to her.
The sweater
Big girl,
dress.
move it.
She got her cardio in.
But the question is, before they move in, he wants her to sign a prenup. Now, they're not married. They're just boyfriend, girlfriend. He wants her to sign a prenup. It was drafted by his attorney, and it's extended beyond cohabitating together. It's also, it'll run into the fact that once they get married. So, do you ladies think that she should sign a prenup as boyfriend and girlfriend moving in together?
I don't think she should sign a prenup. I think she should throw a peace sign up.
That part.
Now, why do you say that, Amanda?
I just feel like that seems very, like regimented, like very early on. And it just makes me, I'm curious about Tamara because I know.
I'm thinking too.
Because like on one hand, you're like, well, I guess it could save us. Like, I guess we both know what it is, so.
I feel like the only thing is, if you guys are going to be living together and you see some kind of future together, I don't think, it might be a wise decision. Only because when people break up, they act really funny. Especially when money is involved. And I feel like when you're renting a house or buying a house, that is a business decision.
Wait, the caveat about this is that she is not involved in any of the renting and buying.
Right.
It has to be equal. That's my thing.
She is paying some of the mortgage,
She's going to pay some of the rent and half of the utilities.
which goes to the mortgage.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Don't call it a prenup.
Wait, but
the prenup word.
Wait, there's one more thing about this that I read. That in the prenup, it says that if they do break up, she is not granted any spousal support, even though she has contributed.
See, but this
to
sounds
the
like
payment.
this is based on his terms.
Yes.
With a prenup, I think it has to be fair.
equal. Yes,
and it has to be equal.
It has to be.
That's when I agree.
Sides.
Yeah, that's when I agree.
Yeah. So whenever you have a contract, whenever anybody issues you a contract, remember there's a reason why you have to get a lawyer to defend yourself, because you have to make sure that the terms are also applicable to you. They also comply to your needs. And so if he's issuing it, of course he's going to benefit himself most of the protection, but so she has to look out for herself. But the thing is, when you move into an apartment and if you're not sure, first of all, you shouldn't move in together if you're not sure that it's a serious relationship.
But listen to what you just said. You just said, of course he's going to make sure it's beneficial to him. And I feel like the partner that you're supposed to be with is going to start from fairness from the jump.
Of course. That's what I was thinking. She's already seeing signs there.
Yeah, I'm not marrying no man that is ever going to, while we're in love, and we've talked about this, if the prenup while you're in love is shady towards you, then I don't even want to see what you're going to do when we're not in love no more.
Yeah, so that's already a clear sign.
Yeah,
but I do think that if they're moving in together, I do think that it's smart to have some type of an agreement. Because people kind of, you're putting, you're putting a lot of money into the furnishings, and then you got to figure out who's going to pay what, especially if jobs are fickle. If you lose your job,
it's an investment.
And sometimes people be forgetting too when they break up.
Yes.
Put
that down.
Okay. How do you feel about this?
Romantic.
I understand that, Amanda, but
I understand.
When we first got on this show, we had a conversation about do we believe in prenups or not believe in prenups.
Yes.
And I was totally anti-prenup because I felt it was the most
believe in the
unromantic.
prenup.
I'm about it now. Because I got my own money.
Yes.
That's what I was about to say. But also, not only that, I think in certain relationships, and if you're coming up, that you need to make them sign an NDA. Because I don't care whether you non-disclosure agreement. I don't care whether you on television or not. If you know you coming up in the world and things are happening, because you notice how now all of a sudden, like Jessica Simpson and all of them are writing these books and they telling their side of the story and everything. If they had an NDA, they couldn't do that. Because that can ruin your brand. Somebody making false, not saying what she's saying is false.
But just in general.
But your perspective is different, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it could really hurt your brand. It could hurt, you as a person.
Great point. So if you're
might
doing
consider
prenups or agreements contractually before moving in together, maybe before going into a serious relationship, you should consider an NDA.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I have one. I made
It's
James
not going to
sign
stand.
You did?
Yes.
Wait. You made James sign one?
Yeah. Because the NDA isn't for him. It's because the people around him. See what I'm saying?
Question.
So,
what were you
Question. You wrote a book. Should we have signed an NDA?
yeah, you should have.
That's why she's saying it. That's why she just put us a warning out there.
Yeah.
But the warning for us is a little too late.
But
Not for me.
I didn't say anything bad. No, you're not in the book yet. Because that's
she said
another
yes.
chapter.
Yeah.
But I did not say anything defamatory about you. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on the person, too.
Yeah.
You get with a person, I know James isn't going to, you know, she a freak. And like, yes, I am.
But you know what? That was my
though.
misconception about prenups. So I was so like defensive about like, no, prenups are like, why would you plan your divorce before you even get married? And then I recognized that I think the reason for me personally why I think prenups are good at this point is because it actually brings peace. And it actually sends a message on both sides. One, I don't want your money, and two, you're not gonna have my money. And it actually brings peace between both sides.
Yeah.
So I think it's smart.
And another big thing people don't think about, and I only saying this jumping off of what you said, is you're like, I have money now, so yes, I believe in prenups. I made the big mistake of not having a prenup because I didn't have money when I got married, which means I didn't look at what I could be. I was looking at what I could be then.
What you were.
Yes, what I was. And so just remember, if you're coming up, if you're working, you're never, if you're as ambitious as we are up here at this table, you are never going to be where you are right then. So always protect yourself in the future.
Protect your future.
Smart.
That's
Great
right. From prenup problems to personal problems. More money, more problems. A user on Reddit recently decided to vent, posting, just because someone else has it worse doesn't mean your problems don't matter. Oh. They added that, yes, it's good to have different perspectives, but at the same time, we don't know what people are going through. So do you guys agree? Like, I think there's definitely this thing where, like, you're going through something and people's way of consoling you is like, but at least, right, and you're like, yeah, I hear you, but also, this is trash.
I think it's important to say why you're having the conversation. I think, like, to establish that when you're talking to somebody, hey, I need to vent. I don't need you to console me. I don't need you to make me feel better. I don't need you to tell me what the right... I'm not even looking for an answer.
Solution.
Or a solution. So I think it's important to say that before you even have these conversations so that then the person you're having it with can know where we going with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it can stop them from offending you.
And it's hard to sit there as a friend if you're outside the bubble. So, of course, you want to be helpful with advice, but that's not what people want to hear sometimes.
In the moment. And sometimes it is a question of, yo, I need advice. Yo, make me feel better. Help me gain perspective.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends, and establishing that definitely helps.
I do agree with the statement, though, because in the moment when somebody says, oh, it could be worse, or I had a worse situation, it does make me feel better quickly, but then it makes me feel like what I was feeling was invalid. I don't care like how big or small. I think from a psychological point of view, it's important to allow yourself to feel that and to get through it. And although my issues may be different, they're still issues.
And they're yours.
And they're mine.
Yeah.
And then I think sometimes it's like, I feel like sometimes people try and guilt you.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, you going through this, but I'm going through this. And you're like, I hear you, but I'm not trying to diminish what you're going through.
Yeah.
And also, like, we may have made different choices that caused you to be going through that and me to be going through this, and I shouldn't have to feel bad because you're going through that. But I think at the end of the day, it's compassion.
That is a great point.
I also think that when you are, you know, having a conversation with your friends, that you should, you know, ask them how are they doing. If you know that you done vented all day for an hour on that phone, ask, you know what, how are you doing?
That's
enough about me. How are you?
How many people actually have...
You do that all the time.
Yeah. How many people actually have internal clocks? Like, have you ever had a friend, or maybe not a friend, but somebody who can go on and on and on about themselves and not even realize that they've only talked about themselves? Yeah. I always wonder, those people, do they really not have like a little meter or something that kind of lets them know, like, ding, 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 damn, you really self-absorbed.
There's a lot of people with a lack of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
And when you're dealing with that, you have to tell them, girl, I got problems too.
Yes.
I have a question, though. Jeannie, I'm just curious. If you were in a situation and somebody, I actually heard of people doing this, and you're going through something, let's say, God forbid, you're saying, I have a broken heart. And the other person is like, God forbid, I have cancer. Right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about your broken heart. Do you think that is the right time to be like, well, girl, I have cancer, so your broken heart isn't that bad?
No, but if it was my friend, I'd be like, damn, that sucks. could I finish about my broken heart and then we can talk about your cancer? I really would. Because my friends, though, it's like my relationship with Mama Mai. We're very, very, very straight up. So I think it's just, I think that when you're honest and you get into an open, vulnerable spot with somebody, obviously, I don't think they'd say cancer.
one up the person with cancer.
I don't think they would say that. But you should tell somebody, like, if, I don't know, I've even had times where, like, you're talking to somebody seriously and they're on their phone and you're like, could you put your phone down for a second so I could just finish give me your attention. So you should be able to still be real with them. But if they have cancer, that really does suck.
No, recognize timing.
really
too.
does.
Timing is important.
But you always got them friends, too, that always got to one-up you. And if you know that's the type of person, don't call them when you really need to vent.
True. Know who your friends are.
You know who they are. You say, girl, I ran into a car. Girl, I ran over a mountain. They always got to...
That's not the person to vent to.
Absolutely. Okay, well, one problem every bride and groom has to face is who to include in their wedding party. However, The Atlantic recently wrote an article about how having single-sex wedding parties just doesn't make sense anymore. That's right. Groom maids or bridesmen are actually more common than ever, with people choosing their friends of the opposite sex to stand next to them on their big day. And while many applaud the change, others think it's breaking tradition.
Good.
So ladies, what do you think?
I don't think it's breaking tradition. I think they've been doing this. Am I bugging?
What?
Has this not been how it's been all along?
I haven't seen it. I haven't.
It's just a different title. You had people in your bridesmaid area that definitely were friends and family of Adam.
They talking about putting that person with the groom.
Well, that's
so
my
like a matron of honor, maid of honor, that's like me having a groom.
Are you going to wear the suit?
Bridesman. Huh?
No, but
Would you wear the suit? I think aesthetically, why can't they just stand on the side with all the ladies?
Nah.
They're saying, I think it's more so the thought process of, if I'm the bride, these are my folks, whether it's women, men, people who do not identify as a binary.
The question here is gender. That's cool. It's about gender.
I know, but your folks can still be...
She's thinking about
they're saying
color
normally,
coordination.
Because you're saying normally, if I have, like, let's say my homeboy, he would then be a part of the groom's party because he's a man.
With the guy.
Whereas now it would be like, no, like my homeboy would be on this side with me. My husband would have his people.
Aesthetically, can you do it? Girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy.
She's just caught up on how
she's thinking of the pictures.
The photos, I'm going to need some kind of coordination here. Let's coordinate.
But to me, I feel like the coordination comes in like
with
anybody who's on, bingo. Anybody who's on my side, like if pink is the color, we doing pink.
Yeah.
But then during the ceremony, what they're saying too is that when you get married, your friends stand with you. Yeah. And so if you over there standing with the bride, that ain't your girl. So
are we having people that aren't both of our people?
Sometimes,
So does it matter what side they stand on if they're there for both of us?
No, but the thing is that some of
if you're bridesmaids, traditionally, they're all women. So what if you had like 3 dudes and 1 woman?
Who you were close with.
So let's say my best friend was a man.
Yes.
Which one of them is? Ray is one of my best friends. My hairstylist.
So Ray would be coordinated in some type of outfit that goes next to your bridesmaids,
but Ray,
and you don't see a break in the flow.
No, Ray is there for our union, and that's what marriage is about. So although Ray technically is really my friend, he would be fine with standing by Israel because he's our friend.
We're just talking about groomsmen and bridesmaids.
I know, I just don't see what the point is.
Her point, I figured it out.
Okay.
Adrian's point is, whether they're groomsmen or the men, bridesmaids are the bridesmaids. It's not, these are my peoples and those are your peoples.
It's our people.
It's our people.
Yes.
And we just have the dudes over here and the women over here, but they're intermingled. Either way, I don't even like weddings, so I don't care.
Oh, you don't? You would have loved ours, though.